Bezat Hashem, we're back at the Knesset Maor. It's Chak over here. Today is the 14th of the month of Kislev, which is Sunday, the first day of the week of Parashat Shabbat Vayeshev. Bezat Hashem, we're going to be dedicating Limud L'Refuah Shlema לבנימין בן ז'נט, אלן אליהו בן ז'נט, וגם חיה בת לאה, וגם ענאל בת חסיבה, חיה בת לאה אמרנו, מרים בת חדרה, עזיז האישה בת יעקב גוטה. רפואה שלמה בעזרת השם. Okay, so let's learn a little bit Musar over here from the Sefer Yirat HaShem, Parashat Vayeshev from Rabbi Moshe Ambar, B'ezrat Hashem. So we're going to do weekly according to the Parashiyot. Vayeshev Yaakov, it says in the Pasuk, Vayeshev Yaakov. Dirshu Chachamenu Zevran B'Vracham, the rabbis explained to us on this Pasuk in Midrash Rabbah, Perik Peidad, Bikesh Yaakov Avinu Lishav B'Shalva. Yaakov Avinu wanted to settle, to rest, to finally have a resting place. אמר הקדוש ברוך הוא, לא דיין לצדיקים מה שמתוקן להם לעולם הבא, אלא שמבקש לשם בשלווה בעולם הזה. Hashem said, Hashem was a little bit upset with the fact that, is it possible that the tzadikim, the righteous, it's not enough for them to have a beautiful place in the makom, in the next world, they also want to sit and relax in this world? קפץ עליו רגזו של יוסף. So right away Hashem sent on him the suffering of his son Yosef. Adkan, this is the Midrash, what the Rabbi is saying. So the Rabbi Moshe Ambar explains, V'kushia yadua. So there's a simple question here. V'chi chasar lo yitbarach latet, v'alo katuv le'yanchilo havai yesh v'atzmatayim amaleh. I don't know, what's going on here? What is this? Does this mean that Hashem only is limited of reward? That he only wants the tzaddikim to have reward in the next world, but not in this world, because what? He has deficiencies, chas v'shalom? Hashem might have deficiencies? Sounds like. Right? It says that the tzaddik can never rest in his life. That means he can never be at peace in this world. And the next one. One second, before we go that way, the Rabbi is explaining, it sounds like from this Midrash that Hashem does not have ability for the righteous to have peaceful life in this world. Chas v'shalom. But in reality, Hashem has everything and limitless. HaKadosh Baruch Hu could do everything in this world. He has so much. And V'maleu says that Hashem, whatever you need, no matter the needs, Hashem has no limit. Ki en machsor lera'av. Hashem, chas v'shalom, He does not have any limit for anybody, especially those people who observe His Torah and teach His Torah, like Yaakov Avinu. So the question is, how come over here this seeming minimizing that only in the next world, not in this world? So here's the answer. In order to understand what is happening really here, that Hashem, chas v'shalom, sounds like Hashem has limits. It's not true. Hashem has no limits. So what's going on here? In order to explain this, the Rabbi says we're going to give you some introduction. The following. We're going to give you the introduction in what the rabbis have said before. In reality, the rabbis told us that a person will not have, it's not possible for a person to have two tables. It's not feasible for the person to have the next world and this world at the same time. Because the reality is, Yaakov and Esav, they split the worlds. Yaakov took the next world, and Esav took this world. However, a person, in reality, we have seen many times that tzaddikim could inherit in this world as well. And especially when the person is serving Hashem, not because for a reward, but he's doing it all l'shem hashamayim, all because he wants to serve God, solely for the purpose of serving God. כמו שכתוב ברמז הפסוק, וידו אוחזת עקב עשיו, as it says in the pasuk which is hinted, and Yaakov was holding in the what's his name? In the heel of Esav. ולכן אמרו חכמים זיכרונם לברכה, therefore our sages said in the מסכת הברכות דף ה' עמוד א', גימל דברים אין נקנים אלא בייסורים. Three things are acquired only through suffering. ואחד מהם התורה. And obviously Torah could be only acquired when a person goes through suffering. כי התורה מתלששת כוחו של אדם. The Torah, learning Torah makes a person very tired. דהיינו זוהמת הנחש קשורה בגופו משען שנולד על פי חטא עץ הדת, טוב ורע. Because of the sin that Adam and Rishon did, and the yoke of that heaviness from the sin of the snake with the Etz Hadat is still in the person, and constantly toiling in the Torah sort of removes that heaviness, that heavy burden, and that what obviously makes us very weak. מה שנהנית נשמתו בהיותו כלול בנשמת אדם הראשון עם מעט ועם הרבה. So again, the soul כביכול is filled. It's either with good or with the evil that's for the task that was done there. ועל זה נאמר עולת כשורה בלב נער שבט בשר יחקנה ממנו. So from our birth, right away, we already have that burden which is having on our neshama. And the problem is, many times, a person gets used to a heavy burden, right? So a person, let's say for instance, a person is carrying a heavy burden, so he is a little bit crunched, right? And he's walking like this for a long time. When they take off the burden out of him, right, he cannot stand upright because he got used to already walking crunched. So right, so in order to stand upright, he has to do something. What is that? That's called exercise. He has to go through physical therapy, right?
Correct.
Right. So the physical therapy is painful. It's painful, but it's a burden that is for the purpose of to get him back upright. Same to here. דהיינו עסק התורה מקטנותו ועד שיגדל שיספיק לקיים מה שכתוב אדם לשמה אדם לעולם יולד. So what do we do to a person? We train him from young age to take off that burden of the Avirah that Adam and Rishon performed in the first stages of the creation, in order to throw off the burden of that heaviness, that yoke that was born with us automatically. So by learning Torah from childhood, we are trained to, it's like the physical therapy, like a person is being trained to stand up upright again. Rashi Tevot Le'amal, and as it says with that, the person is born to constantly toil. What does that mean? The words Le'amal, the first letters are Lamed, Ayin, Mem, Lilmod. Lamed stands for Lilmod, to learn. Ayin for Al, in order for the purpose. Mem for Minat, for the reason. Lilamed, to teach. So the whole toiling of a person is learning, trying to break his head, trying to get things clearly in his mind, which is heavy. It's a heavy burden on the person, and it's a little bit weakening the person. What's the purpose? To go out and to teach. ולכן עסק התורה לשמה צריך להיות טוב אחרית הדבר מראשיתו על ידי הורים ומורים נאמנים ללמוד לבניהם אחריהם. So therefore the toiling over the Torah has to be done for the purpose of lishma, for the purpose of learning Torah, for the knowledge of the Torah, and that's incumbent on the parents, the father and the mother, to instill that into their children. And in order to gain that end result, where a child has now purity of Torah, and he could achieve that fact of la'amal, lilmod, al menat lelamed, to learn in order to teach. שיצא כל אחד מישראל דתי ראשי תיבות דרך ארץ. So each person should, what's his name? Torah Yirat Shamayim. So the person is constantly imbued to become a person who is constantly toiling in the Torah for the purpose of what? In order to have derech eretz and Torah and Yirat Shamayim. So the person will have that out of it, derech eretz, proper behavior, Torah with purity of knowledge of to fulfill the mitzvot properly, and Yirat Shamayim obviously with fear of God, with the yoke but only that could only be achieved with one way. And the only way to achieve it is if you're learning Torah, L'Shem Shamayim, learning Torah for the knowledge of Hashem's word, and obviously to Mikayem, to fulfill every word. And with this, we're going to end for today. And with Hashem, we will continue halacha. You want to come back for halacha?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
I can't remember. I'm at the hospital.
רפואה שלמה במהרה בעזרת השם.
Amen. Amen. Everything will be good. I mean, like you just did right now.
בעזרת השם. בזכות הלימוד תורה, should be מגן על all of the Jewish people, especially get you back out of the hospital, your children, בריאים ושלמים בעזרת השם. בהצלחה רבה.